Hello, Congresswoman. I was going to ask you about Secretary Pompeo, but since Nicole brought it up, let's start there. Typically, State Department employees aren't allowed to participate in partisan politics or appear at rallies or conventions. Why does Secretary Pompeo get to break the rules here?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm sure they got legal advice that said it was okay. And I'm excited that he's going to be speaking from Jerusalem, is my understanding. And as you know, President Trump put the embassy there, which all the other presidents in the past for years have said they were going to do. They promised to do, and they never did, and President Trump did it. So I'm looking really forward to tonight. I'm excited. Last night was good, too. I thought it was great.
President Trump has such solid support among the base, unwavering support in the base, but he'll need more than the base to win this election. So what's going to be done over the next 3 nights to try and sway more of those swing voters?
Well, as you saw last night, it was a diverse group of speakers, and I was really moved by Maximo Alvarez, who had come from Cuba, and he said, you know, this rioting and looting and talking about democratic socialism. He said he saw this before and he doesn't like it because that's what happened in Cuba when they promised him all kinds of things like free things and stuff. And it was very moving. He was like, I don't want this in America. America is a land of opportunity, a land of promise. We don't want socialism. So I thought that was great. I think tonight we're going to have 2 Arizona speakers. We're going to have Myron Leisner, who's the vice president of the Navajo Nation. And I assume he's going to talk about how he worked with President Trump to help with the coronavirus there and help his nation and his people on the nation. But then we're also going to have Marianne Mendoza, whose son was a Mesa police officer who was killed by an illegal immigrant. And that's going to highlight how President Trump wants to secure the border. He's for law enforcement, and how Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want to have basically open borders. They're against building more walls. And you can see why law enforcement and the Customs and Border Patrol associations have endorsed President Trump.
Well, they're not for opening borders, but they are against building more sections of the border wall. One of the messages I took last night was kind of a message of fear, and it was directed toward people in the suburbs. I mean, we all live in suburbia here. It's sprawl in the valley, and I don't know anybody who's living in fear or fear of a Democratic administration. Why was that one of the themes?
Well, I think you're wrong, to tell you the truth, because my husband belongs to a gun range in Peoria, and it is packed. Normally, he can make arrangements to have shooting time on a Sunday morning. Now it's packed. There are just tons of people there. Tons of people are new members buying guns that have never bought guns before. And as you probably heard, a lot of people are buying body armor even. No, people are scared of all this rioting and looting that's going on. And that's why the McCluskeys last night, when they talked, because they lived in the suburbs, and all of a sudden they had mobs of people coming down their street, and they're trying to defend themselves because they didn't know what was going to happen. And guess what? They're the ones that got arrested or charged. I mean, so people are nervous about this whole thing, and that's why law enforcement is supporting President Trump. And I have to disagree with you as well. The Democrats are for open borders. I serve on the Homeland Security Committee, and I see bill after bill that is passed in the U.S. House of Representatives by my Democrat colleagues that effectively have open borders. They're for sanctuary cities. They want to give $1,200 relief payment checks to illegal immigrants. They want to get rid of Department of Homeland Security. I mean, these are some radical ideas, and Kamala Harris has a track record of supporting illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens.
Congresswoman, it's not a surprise that former Senator Jeff Flake has broken away with the party, but he was joined yesterday by dozens of other prominent Republicans from Arizona, the former state attorney general, former state lawmakers, judges, county commissioners. Isn't it kind of a surprise to see kind of a convention week mutiny from some people in the party?
There's like 95% approval rating of Republicans for President Trump, so I'm not going to worry about Jeff Flake, who has some kind of beef with the president.
Congresswoman, what are you looking forward to tonight? I know the First Lady is the big headliner this evening. What message do you hope she shares with the country?
You know, I think it's important for her to talk about what it's like to be a mother, what it's like to be an immigrant here to the United States. I got to speak with her personally and asked her one time if she ever would have dreamed in a million years that she would be living in the White House. And she was very personal with me and said, of course not. She never dreamt it. And so that's what's great about America. What's great about America is anybody can legally immigrate here, and if they work hard and they believe in the values of America, they can make something out of themselves. And that's what we need to protect, and that's why I support President Trump, and that's why others are speaking about this. The other thing I think we're going to see is just common, everyday people talking about their interactions with the president, just like we saw last night. And, those actually I like the best. I like those, but I liked Tim Scott last night, too. He was really good.
All right, 3 nights to go, a big week for the GOP. Congresswoman,